Welcome to It's a Woman's World, where we'll meet achieving women making a difference in our community. I'm Carolyn Bruno. Our guest is Liz Fletcher Brown, member of the Executive Board of Directors of the National Speakers Association. Welcome, Liz.
Hi, welcome, Carolyn. It's nice to be here.
It's wonderful to have you. And actually, in full disclosure, I must mention that I'm also a member of National Speakers Association. And so today we're going to talk about this and about its special event coming up, Speaker U.
Yeah.
So first, please tell me about National Speakers Association.
Well, as the name sounds, it's a national organization for people who speak professionally. And just to distinguish it a little bit, when people think of speakers, they often think of Toastmasters, and that's a wonderful organization of which many of our members are also members of, myself included. But the National Speaker Association, less on focusing on presentation skills alone, it really focuses on the business of speaking. And the DC chapter is actually one of the largest and most vibrant because we have a lot of speakers in this area. You know, there's a lot of associations here, government here, so we have a very vibrant community of professional speakers in the DC area.
Okay, good. Yeah, and I know that, of course, from attending the meeting, and we do get nice tips. And anyone interested in speaking should really look us up.
Oh, yes,
you know,
absolutely. Yeah.
Because, as you said, focusing on business, I know we have so many business women here as who would fit it right in and learn a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. People think of professional speakers and think of keynote speakers, but we've also, there's trainers, consultants, and of course there's coaches who speak, and anyone in a business. I think that speaking and good communication skills really are the heart of business success. You know, whether you're doing a presentation to one person or hundreds of people, it all stems back to good speaking skills. So,
of course, but we're both involved in it, but I definitely agree. And a success whether you own your own business or you're in business in a large corporation, because this is how you move forward.
Absolutely.
Presenting yourself well to your boss, so they say, oh, I see this person as another step up, another level, another executive position.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the best things someone can do actually to move up in their career is to really work on their speaking skills. So.
Yeah. Break the glass ceiling with speaking.
That's it.
There we go. A new motto. So now we're going to talk today about Speaker University that comes out of the DC chapter rather than the national chapter.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, please.
Well, we're really excited about it. It's a one-day conference. It's called Powerful Speaking for Impact and Profit. And as I mentioned, it's really for anybody who's just speaking as part of their business mix. And I can tell you the details later, but it's going to be at George Mason University in Fairfax. And well, it's on April 13th, just so people have the date now so they can be thinking about it.
Oh, yes, please.
It's co-sponsored actually by George Mason University's Department of Communication, and our corporate sponsor is the Washington Business Journal, which of course is a big organization in this area too.
I think someone told me they've already seen an ad in Washington Business Journal about Speaker University, so I was very excited to hear that. Yeah, great. So now you were saying a little bit, who should attend Speaker University?
Well, obviously, if someone is a professional speaker, that would be a great thing for them to come to. But really, anybody who has to speak as part of their business, like I say, whether you run your own business, whether you work for another organization, but just to come and learn a little bit more about the industry, and also how you can make your presentations more engaging.
Okay, and so you're kind of continuing on here. Give us the benefits of it. So you've almost given us some, which is of course making speaking more engaging. But
well, I think there's lots of benefits, and I can talk a little bit more about that when we talk about the specific presentations. But I think in general, there's two main benefits. Somebody who comes will walk away with actual, actionable steps that they can put into their business right away to actually get more business, whether they are speaking to promote their services, their products, or as you mentioned, an idea. So that would be something that would be a benefit. Another benefit is learning how to make your presentations more engaging so that you can actually get your message across to your intended audience. And people will walk away with a better understanding of how to do that.
Great. I love that you said actionable items. Can I ask you to give us right now, for our audience, an actionable item, maybe a tip about speaking that's an actionable item?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I can give you one. A lot of us, we go to networking events. I know we're both members of lots of organizations. When we go and we share about our business, and a lot of times when I ask people, what do you do? And they use their title, But it doesn't really differentiate them in any way from anybody else who happens to do that same thing. But instead, if they could tell me a short story of how they were able to help a client, I right away have a better understanding of who I could refer to them and what they do and who they do it for. So that's a way to use speaking in a business setting. Another tip, if I can share another one?
Please.
Another tip would be in terms of actual presentation skills. A lot of times when speakers are giving a presentation, they will talk in the narrative about something that happened, say, in the past tense. Instead, if you can use a story and actually tell it in the present tense as if it was happening now and actually act it out versus saying, well, then Carolyn said this. If they actually say it as if you were saying it in a different voice, for example, it's so much more compelling and it draws people in because we love stories. We learn through stories. So learning how to do that is a powerful way to engage people. I personally almost never use PowerPoint. I use stories to engage people and to share, to help get the point across. So these are a couple of things that people will find out more about at the one-day conference.
Yes. Oh, that's exciting. And you are right. Everyone does love stories. I wonder many times to myself, why do we love stories? But as children, we love them. And as adults, we still love them and we learn from them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So but now I want to learn from you more about the speakers coming to Speaker University. And you can expand on what we're going to learn from these people.
Absolutely, love to. Well, we have two wonderful speakers doing a general session together in the morning. One is Joel Calloway, and he's probably most famous for his book called Becoming a Category of One. And it's really about how do you stand out in the marketplace. I mean, a lot of us are in businesses, either we have a business or we work for an organization where, there's a lot of competition. So how do you set yourself up as being different? So a lot of the things that people will learn in this day isn't just really for speakers. It really would apply to any woman in business. And also, Larry Wiggett will be working with him in the morning. And Larry, he calls himself the pit bull of professional development. And you might have heard of one of his books. I think this is my favorite. It's called Shut Up, Stop Whining, and Get a Life. So that tells you a little bit about his attitude. And so the two of them together are have been inducted into the International Speakers Hall of Fame. They have decades of experience in the speaking industry. So they'll be giving a completely nothing held back conversation about what it takes to be successful in the speaking industry. So they'll be doing a session in the morning. Then in the afternoon we have 6 additional masterful speakers doing breakout sessions. 3 of them are focused on business. And so, shall I tell a little bit about each one?
Oh, yes, please, yeah. And I'm very interested, especially when you're going to get to D.
Well, let me tell you about D right now. A lot of people in this area especially are very familiar with Willie Joy.
Right.
He is probably one of the biggest names in motivational speaking. A lot of people have heard of his name, and he's got PBS shows and a lot of stuff on television. Well, the backbone of his business in terms of his main operations person is his wife, Dee. And so she will be talking about what does it take to actually put the systems in place and run a successful speaking business. Now again, this is going to be information that anyone who runs their own business is going to benefit from. But she'll be talking about how she helped be the foundation to help Willie go off and be as successful as he is.
And I've heard so many amazing stories about Dee Jolly and how she has really built his business. And behind every successful man,
I was going to say
there's a woman.
That's exactly right. And she is very dynamic as a speaker. She's a powerhouse in her own right. So that will be a very exciting presentation. We're also going to have Wolf Rinke. What's interesting about Wolf is he came to the States 14 years old, working on a cruise ship. And that's how he started his career. Actually, he started working on a cruise ship, and he's worked his way up now to having this multi-million-dollar business. So he's gone beyond being a speaker. He's built an entire business with residual income coming in from lots of different ways by developing educational materials for specific markets. So for anyone who would like to learn how to go beyond just speaking and actually build a whole business with other products and services, and I know he has audio programs and written programs, so that's, I think, again, something that a lot of us, I'm looking forward to learning more about that. Let me just take one more look and see who else we have. Oh, I know who else we have. Arnold Sano. This is a great one because he's going to talk about how to get booked. He is probably one of the busiest guys in the National Speakers Association. He stays very, very busy. So he'll be talking about how do you actually get bookings. And again, I've taken his programs. What I've learned from his programs on marketing for speakers, again, you can apply that to other businesses too, but his insights to the speaking industry are really far-reaching. So those are the people, for people who want to learn about the business, those are the different programs they might want to consider. Then we've also got, again, how do you engage an audience? Charles Green is from this area, and he actually brings his experience as a magician to his presentation. He's actually an international corporate spokesperson, but he uses magic. So if you want to learn how to put a little sparkle and magic into your actual presentation, he'll be giving a talk on how he does that. Also, we have Amy Saidman. Amy, she's again known in this area. I think DC Magazine named her the matriarch of storytelling. She's a fabulous storyteller. So she'll be talking about how do you take that personal narrative that we talked about earlier and how do you put that into a presentation to help engage an audience. Again, that's something that you can use whether you're networking one-on-one or on the platform speaking to hundreds of people. So we're looking forward to that. And then finally, Avish Parashar is he calls it improvisational humorist. Because, you know, we all learn through humor. When we find something entertaining, we tend to be more attracted to it. So he'll be talking about how do you add humor to a presentation without telling jokes? Because, as you know, telling a joke can be a very risky business on stage. So he is also very entertaining. I've seen him present live many times myself. So we have an amazing lineup.
You do. And my thought that came to me is spice up your speaking skills. And it seems to encompass so many of the speakers here, because they're going to enhance everyone's. But it's not just speaking skills, though I do want to say, and it's not just for women, it's because National Speakers Association is men and women.
Sure, absolutely,
so, men who we love as well are invited.
Yes, everyone's invited.
And so they are invited to come and also to glean lots of information from this, both about business and about the business of speaking and using it to enhance their own business.
Absolutely.
And really add more to their bottom line.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, really believe that you make more money by going out there and speaking well.
Yes.
And showing yourself to be eloquent and intelligent and, you know, just the whole
absolutely.
bag
There's something
comes
very
together.
charismatic about someone who can speak well and present their ideas in a compelling way. So I think it would be useful for anybody in business, actually.
I definitely agree.
So I'd like to know a little more of the details?
Yeah, if you have some time,
Sure, is that okay?
Let us know a few more details.
So again, it's going to be at George Mason University. It is on April the 13th, which is a Saturday. At 8 o'clock, registration opens, and there'll be networking breakfast. One thing we didn't mention, this will be a fantastic networking experience because we have business people coming from all over. So there'll be a time for networking, and then the program starts at 9 and goes till 5 in the afternoon. And if people want to find out more information, they go to our website, which is www.nsadc.org. Again, that's nsadc.org, and then they can click on the button and find out more information.
So they'll go to nsadc.org, and then they can go for events.
Yes.
And events will go to give them selection for either registration or more information or whatever.
Yeah. When they go to the site, it's a big blue box. It's quite. They just click on that button, they'll get more information. So.
Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Liz. It's been very exciting and informative, and I hope other people can come and enjoy this organization as much as you and I do, and really get a lot out of it for their business. That's the main point.
Absolutely.
I hope you've enjoyed meeting our guest, Liz Fletcher Brown, as much as I have.